Hey guys, it's Keel. Welcome back to Keel's Corner. That's my second video of 2020, and we're going to pick up right where I left off last time. We talked last time about coming up with a good game plan for how to achieve your New Year's resolutions based on starting at the end of that ideal best self and working your way back. And one of the ways that I think you can really do that, and something that I am absolutely passionate about and obsessive almost about, is reading. And I think that is a huge, huge advantage and a huge reason why people that are successful became successful. I did about 5 years ago, I got on this reading kick where I kept just finding, I was researching really successful people across a lot of different career fields and avenues, whether it's entertainment or politics or tech industry. And I kept coming back to the fact that all of these successful people were readers, and they read almost obsessively. And so I got on a kick where I was like, I'm gonna read a book a week. It was an aggressive goal at the time, but it's become a habit, and I've done it for going on 5 years now, and it has absolutely changed my life. Quick things that it's done: not only is it just really given me a better understanding of the areas I focus on, which are business leadership, ethics, history. I'm really big on understanding the workings of really successful people. A lot of them are dead. I can't have a conversation with Gandhi or Steve Jobs or people like that, but by able to read their biographies or read their autobiographies, I'm kind of able to almost in my mind kind of have a conversation with them and let them mentor me in that capacity. And I've really I gleaned a lot of information from that. Also, vocabulary. I've noticed I use words that I didn't really use before. There's just a lot of benefits to that specifically, and ultimately just becoming an expert in whatever area you're trying to focus on. But I'd say the biggest thing when it comes, so please get out there and read. If you stop the video now, that's all I really want you to know is read what interests you. Don't read the shit that doesn't interest you. 2 years ago, I tried to, for some reason I was like, oh, I probably should be reading, the books I never read as a kid, like Moby Dick and Catcher in the Rye. And they bored the shit out of me, honestly. I didn't like them at all. So don't do that. Read what interests you. If that's books on, bird watching or gardening or history or, a specific war or, computer software or whatever it is, then, dude, read that. But go as far down that rabbit hole as you can. And don't be arrogant. Don't go like, oh, I know enough about that. Like, no, there's always more to learn. The way I look at it is, even in a book like this, if there's one sentence that helps me in a way that I don't have now, dude, this book's worth reading. And you got to look at it like that. Is that, yeah, not every book is going to be the best book you've ever, read, but there's something to take away from that. And so, like for me, I really enjoy business leadership books. I love but a strength that I feel I have is public speaking. I'm really into it. I love talking to people. But I also read a ton about public speaking. I'll go read books on like The Dummy's Guide to Public Speaking or How to Give a TED Talk. Books on body language, how to interpret people's reactions to what you say. And it just gives the weirdest reactions when I read these books. But to me, it's like, people may think I know something about this topic, but there is so much more to learn. So if I want to really be an expert at that, I really need to do my research. So get out there and read. Set a reading goal for this year. Whatever that best self was that you thought about in that last video and you envisioned in your mind, that vivid picture of who you wanted to be at the end of 2020, dude, there's a book out there or books out there that can help you get there, or help you understand what you don't know now. So please get out there and do it, and support your local bookstore. I love Amazon as much as the next person. Their books are obviously going to be cheaper, but there is just something cool about getting out and just kind of scrolling through a bookstore at books and finding stuff you wouldn't have normally caught on Amazon. So if the price is within, a negligible price point, dude, support, like a Barnes & Noble or a local bookstore, because we need those. Like, kids need books. I know in this tech world, I still am old school. I like old school books, and I like, flipping pages and tabbing out where I'm at. Also, the way I look at it is, as a parent, I'm modeling a behavior. I try not to read when I'm with my kids, so I'm not taking up time from them. But there's definitely times where at night my kids have come in and be like, Dad, you're always reading. And to me, I'm winning there, because I'm the only parent, I'm the only father they have. Obviously there's two parents, but I'm the only father they have. And that's a behavior that they're seeing as like what a dad does, or what a person does, what a parent does. And my wife does the same thing. She's an obsessive reader as well. So realize that people are watching. I take a book everywhere where I go. If I go get my oil changed, I have a book. Because if I have 20, 30 minutes there, I'm going to knock out a chapter or two. If I'm waiting for, I'm at like the DMV, I bring a book because God knows that could be 2 hours or more. So just that's a way to not waste time on YouTube and do that. Because if you do want to do YouTube, that's great. And you want to watch movies and shows, awesome. But just realize there is capacity in a day if you just carry a book around with you where you can knock out, 4 or 5 pages, and pretty soon you've knocked out an entire book. So I would recommend getting out there today, figuring out what it is that interests you and like what inspires you, and then go out there and read as much of it as you can. And if you're totally into just fiction books, you like, Tom Clancy and, Michael Connelly and all those, dude, that's great. Read those. I just think the concept of reading, it uses a different part of your brain. It lets you imagine. That's why so many times people that read, we're always pissed when we watch the movie because we're like, dude, that sucked. Like the book was so much better, is because you're using different parts of your brain to make that imagination. And it's just such a cooler image. Just to finish it off with 2 quotes that really kind of hammer this topic home for me and why it's so near and dear to me. I love Harry Truman's quote. He says, "Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers." And I think that's awesome because obviously he was a really successful man himself and a great leader, but it just tells me that, hey, if you're going to go do and lead, you owe it to yourself to educate yourself as much as possible and to pour that information in. But again, like, you only have so much time. So if your job is painting and you want to learn much about painting, then reading Catcher in the Rye is probably not going to help you. It's cool, maybe it's just entertaining, but that's not really, don't just read to read. Focus that reading just like you'd focus anything else to get that best self, and then go down that rabbit hole. And then finally, and I'm going to read it because I don't want to screw it up because it's such an awesome quote. I love the quote by Mark Twain. And by the way, if you just want to entertain yourself for 30 minutes, go read Mark Twain quotes. The guy is the funniest guy ever. And the quote goes, and I quote, "The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who can't read." And to me, I take that as that, like, there's an abundance of stuff out there to learn through books. And by having the ability and that skill to read that, our schools and our system and our society have given me, like, I have a skill that there's people out there who can't read don't have. So don't squander it, because the guy that can't read and the person that isn't reading are both not learning anything. So if you can read, you owe it to yourself to go out there and find books and read them. So that's that's how my video today. Kind of want to keep it short and sweet. I hope you figure out, again, like, however we're going to make that best self for 2020, figure out what it is, and I promise you there's a book out there for you on that. So go find it today, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.